Using and managing hot deserts sustainably. Using and managing hot deserts sustainably. Today I am going to describe an example of this in the MEDC country of Australia and the Australian outback, in which there are both economic opportunities yet also challenges and impacts of farming and tourism in the deserts. I will further discuss how farmers rise to these problems and how they are dealt with. Firstly, the economic opportunities include tourism, farming, hunting and gathering, and mining. Tourism takes place in the Uluru or Ayers Rock. The Uluru or Ayers Rock is a sacred site for the Aboriginal Anangu people. Tourism can bring economic benefits to the local people, for example, when the tourists buy Aboriginal arts and crafts. However, there are some problems. These include that the Aboriginal culture is often exploited and adapted to provide entertainment, and because of this, people come for the experience of the sunset at the sacred rock, but they may not learn anything about the Aboriginal culture or beliefs while they are staying. Furthermore, the Anangu have no role in the management or development of the tourist resort where most visitors stay. This basically means that the culture isn't always advertised as a major tourist attraction, and this results in the sunset at the rocks being the only major attraction. Farming is another major problem in the outback, as it can be difficult to make a living from farming as the soils are poor, with little organic matter to retain moisture, and plants are low in nutrients. On the odd occasion when water is available for sufficient farming, there is just enough grass to feed cattle or sheep, but only in quite low numbers. In order for farmers to make any money, the farms need to be huge. Some, in fact, are even the size of Wales entirely. Hunting and gathering is a way in which many Aboriginal people have traditionally survived over the years. They do this by finding edible plants and animals in the outback, as well as building dams across rivers to catch fish and to make pools where birds would gather. Due to these incredible findings, Australia now has a growing native food industry based on traditional Aboriginal knowledge of what's edible in the outback. The final economic opportunity is mining. Most people in the outback work in mines. Australia has some of the world's largest reserves of quality iron ore, silver, and gems such as opal. Coober Pedy in South Australia is the opal capital of the world. In fact, 70% of the world's opal comes from here. Also, most of Australia's iron ore is sold to China. In fact, every day several trains carry the material to the port in Dampier, and mining is very good in raising finance in the desert. Now we move on to the challenges and impacts of farming and tourism in deserts. Managing the challenges. As I have already said, farming in the outback is very hard, simply due to the lack of water. Farmers have two main water sources. Number 1. Most farmers have dams and reservoirs to store water for sheep and cattle. And secondly, the farmers also use boreholes to tap into underground water systems. Although farmers can currently meet the challenges of the harsh desert environment, recent droughts in Australia have put pressure on the land and water supplies, and this has led to people question whether both water and land are being used sustainably, and what they can do to try and prevent further droughts from exploiting the water supply. Tourism also offers its fair share of challenges and impacts in the deserts. The new Uluru Aboriginal Cultural Centre educates visitors about Aboriginal culture and its history. Its displays include photos, spoken histories, Aboriginal language learning, videos, and artefacts. Aboriginal guides also lead outback walks to inform visitors about bush food, as well as the significance of Uluru as a sacred site and other cultural subjects. The new cultural centre provides economic as well as cultural benefits. The income from the admission fees goes to the Anangu community. And today, over 30 Aboriginal people work in the park, and the park's management is dominated by Aboriginal workers. This process is very successful, considering that the Anangu people cannot have a say in the tourist aspect of the outback. Thank you for listening, and I hope that this helps.